Hello, everyone. Thanks again for tuning in once again here at Press for Truth TV on Thursday, January the 26th, 2012. And I'm very excited to announce today that we have a great show lined up for you. This is my first interview in a new line of interviews I'm going to be doing here at Press for Truth TV. And I'm very honored to be joined by my very first guest, the one and only James Corbett of the CorbettReport.com. James, thanks for being here.
Well, thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much to all the people at Press for Truth TV for supporting Dan and the excellent work you're doing.
Well, it's an absolute pleasure to have you joining us today. For the viewers, why don't you tell people a little bit about what you do over at thecorbettreport.com?
Well, Corbett Report started in 2007, and it started originally just as a home for my podcast that I was starting at the time, but it quickly expanded into articles and videos and interviews. So now I have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of media that I've created over the past almost 5 years now, and I continue to do it. And it's a lot of the same stuff that you're covering at Press for Truth. I try to cover. I'm in Japan, so some of it has some of an international flair to it, but I'm also Canadian originally, so a lot of it centers on Canada as well. And just looking at the overarching systems of control and all of the things that are facing us in this unfortunate day and age of increasing centralization of power.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're clearly a very busy man. I've noticed you work with a lot of number of different people who are involved with sharing the information that you present to people. New World This Week, I believe it's called.
New World Next Week.
No, oh, sorry, New World Next Week, and a whole bunch of others. You work with Boiling Frog, and you make regular appearances on Russia Today, and sometimes Alex Jones, and now even PFT TV. So you're clearly a very busy man. So can you just walk us through what's an average day like for James Corbett?
That's a good question. It starts early and ends late. I'm lucky enough. I've been blessed enough with an incredible audience and people who have really supported my work, and I'm now able to actually do this full time. I was previously doing a full-time teaching job here in Japan, but I'm now doing the website full time. So as you mentioned, I've been incredibly fortunate enough to get involved with some really excellent people like James Evan Pilato with New World Next Week, Sibel Edmonds at boilingfrogspost.com, just doing incredible work, and she's putting together just an incredible team of people, so I'm honored to be doing one video report a week for that. I'm doing Global Research TV with the Center for Research on Globalization based in Montreal. And so basically it varies from day to day, but I'm generally working on a video report for that day, usually recording an interview of some sort and getting ready for my radio show, because I also have a radio show on Republic Broadcasting every weeknight. So there's a lot of different stuff, and it runs quite a gamut of material. I mean, I'm covering economics, I'm covering internet censorship, I'm covering globalization and World War III and all of the stuff that's bombarding us right now. So it's quite a wide range of material. So it requires, basically, when I'm not actually working on something or doing something, I'm reading the latest headlines or I'm watching a documentary or whatever it is to get prepared for the next thing that's coming along. So it never, ever, ever stops. But I'm not sure I could think of doing this any other way. Basically, I'm doing this because this is what I care about. This is what I'm passionate about. And I must have some ability to do this because I certainly am growing and growing. So this is what I'm expending all of my energy on, and I'm really glad that I am.
Well, that's awesome. It's so exciting to hear that you're to a point now where you can do this on a full-time basis. That's inspiring to me to hear that. I'm working towards hopefully getting to that point as well. So congratulations for that, man. That's excellent. You mentioned internet censorship, and I was curious about what you think about some of the recent things going on with the PIPA and SOPA bills that have been highly debated recently.
Well, in some ways, this has been an incredibly good thing because it has really awoken people to the internet censorship problem and really gotten people energized about that issue in a way that nothing else so far really has. So it was great to see Reddit and huge sites like that getting on board and really drawing people's attention to this. But of course, I think anyone who's been following this, and probably most of the people who follow Press for Truth, understand that this is only one part of a much, much larger puzzle. And it's something that's already underway. It's already here to some extent, and there's things like ACTA that people aren't talking about as much, which has already been signed and is already going into force in various countries to already implement some of the things that SOPA was talking about. And then, of course, there's the other problem that SOPA and PIPA might have been defeated for now, but how they will return, what kind of legislation they'll just be quietly backdoored into when no one's looking, that's always the problem. So I think we've got an incredible momentum behind people really starting to stand up for their rights and to say no to things like this. But now that that's been mobilized, it's extremely important now to really make people understand that this is an ongoing problem and something we have to continue to fight against in all of the various ways that it's going to be implemented. And of course, we've just seen the takedown of Mega Upload and the shockwaves from that still reverberating through various different types of sites, and some file sharing services even disallowing US customers and things now because they're afraid of what will happen to them. So some very, 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 very huge events going on right now, and I think we'll be feeling the reverberations from this for quite a while. But I certainly, as I say, I certainly think there is an upside to this in at least as insofar as people are actually getting on board and starting to do something about it. And once again, if we can harness that movement and get people really interested in following this as an ongoing thing, not just as something you stand up once and lie back down. If we can get people to stand up and continue guarding and being vigilant about this, I think we really have the opportunity to hopefully implement something more on a long-term basis to try to get something really hardwired into law about protecting the internet freedoms.
Absolutely. We're going to have to be vigilant on this one and keep up the fight as much as we can. The internet's one of the best tools that we have right now to expose the globalists. What do you feel about some of Anonymous's actions and their response to the shutting down of Mega Upload, and how they reacted to it? What's your take on that?
Yeah, the anonymous response is it's extremely interesting when things like this happen because, of course, it's portrayed as some sort of big attack on the FBI. They attacked the White House and the Department of Justice and RIAA and all these other websites. But that's really just lazy news speak for distributed denial of service attack, which is when it's applied against something like Amazon or a business that relies on having the internet, then taking down their website is a huge deal and can cost millions of dollars. It really is an attack of some form. But when you're talking about the FBI's website or something like that, all this really is just a PR event, and it works in favor of the FBI. It works in favor of the Department of Justice. It works in favor of the people who are championing internet censorship, because all this type of attack really is just getting a lot of people to try to contact one server at one time so that the server goes down. Once that's over, the server goes back up, it gets rebooted, the site's back up, nothing changes, nothing happens, but they get to blast out in the headlines, oh my God, they attacked the FBI, oh my God. And so it creates a huge PR win for them to try to portray everyone who's against this internet censorship as terrorists who are attacking websites and going on this rampage. And then, I mean, there's the other level of this that I have no doubt there are many, many, many people who are real individuals who really think they're doing something great here in Anonymous. But all it takes is a few people who are working for the other side, the people who are either on the payroll or have been blackmailed or whatever it is, the people with genuine hacking abilities who then don this anonymous mask, and who knows who they are or where they come from, and they can lead people along these types of blind alleys into solutions that don't work for the benefit of the people who are actually trying to control the whole situation. So it's a type of false flag, or at least the potentially could be at any time a type of false flag, which is why I have my reservations about the entire anonymous phenomenon.
I could not agree with you more. You know, there's certainly, it does seem like, as you said, it's a little bit of fuel for the fire right now. That being said, there is a lot of well-intentioned people involved with Anonymous who are in it for the right reasons. They want to get active, get out in the streets, start making change for the world to make it a better place. But as you suggested, and I have also spoken about, these sorts of attacks only provide the excuse for the government to basically clamp down even further on our rights. So I can't agree with you more on that one. Well, James, I don't want to keep you too long. I know you're a busy man, so thank you so much for joining us here on my very first broadcast at Press for Truth TV, and I hope to have you on again in the future when I start getting a little bit better at doing the interviews. I've been, of course, watching your work for years now, and I've learned a lot, so I'm going to begin to put that into practice with my own show. And yeah, well, I hope to have you on again very soon. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, guys, that was James Corbett of the CorbettReport.com. Be sure to check out his YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed yet, you're certainly missing out. I'll put a link in the description. And if you go to his website, you'll see where you can subscribe to his RSS feeds so that you can be up to date on everything that he's doing every day. And if you get a chance, pick up a copy of his DVD, which you will see right here, in order to show your support for all the great work that James is doing. Okay, guys, that's it for today. I hope you enjoyed the show, and thanks again for tuning in. We'll see you right back here tomorrow. Take care.